Oh, hello. Good morning. It's Fish, Beach Bum Investor. Cryptocurrency discussion and report for the 12th of January 2018. Bit late today. Sorry about that. Just going to post up in Discord and let the crew know we're starting. Oh, there's people in already. Boom. All right, I'm just going to turn off Discord now because otherwise it beeps through the whole thing. Okay. I'm just going to come into the chat and see who's in for the chat today. Cryptochronicus, Hourglass. What's up, guys? Adam, how's in? How are you? Floyd? Jordan, Handmaker. What's going on with ICX? What's going on with the whole market? A lot of Korean FUD at the moment, mate. I'll show you a report I found in a minute. It's there's a minister in Korea looking to shut down the exchanges, the crypto exchanges. So that's what's going on at the moment. Pablo, Eric Meds, Shaquille, all the crew's starting to roll in for the convo. BB, what's going on? 15th today, mate. Crypto Gnome, how are you, dude? Yeah, so it's been pretty, like, it's hit the markets pretty heavily, this FUD out of Korea. But I just want to read the article to you guys if I can. I'll bring it up on and we'll screen share it because it's interesting. yeah, exactly. Pablo said you might be looking for a new job. No, I don't think so, mate. Like, PIVX has actually been reasonably strong through the dip last time I checked, so it's a good sign whenever a coin shows strength through an overall market correction or market FUD, as this is. Oh, you didn't. Guys, I got to tell you, I'll tell you what's happened. Cryptochronicus has said to me, Fish, how much would PIVX pay me to get a PIVX tattoo? And I said, well, I just want to see that. So I said, I'll pay for the tattoo. I think I said 20 PIVX. I'll pay for the tattoo and 20 PIVX. So now he sent me designs. Gregory Beeb, g'day. SP. All right, everyone's starting to. Yeah, good to see you. Beyond time. Beyond time. That's not ringing a bell. Your first timer in the convo. Welcome. I don't think it's ringing a bell. So much good support with all of you. Yeah, we're a pretty bonjour, Mehdi. How are you, mate? Yeah, we're a pretty supportive crew, man. That's what we do. Help the newbies out. We're all newbies once, and it's bloody intimidating when you first get in. So let's have a look at the market. No, let's have a look at this article first. Let me just find it on my computer here. Sorry, guys, the screen's going to shake around a bit while I look at this. Okay, I got the article here. Coming over to screen share. This is gives you a bit of an explanation what's going on in the crypto economy at the moment. What's causing the shake-up. I am on screen share this time. It's a big step forward. Fish, I'll just go up to the top here, guys. Okay, so the headline, which is what most people read, rather than actually going into the intricacies of the article. And honestly, when you go into the article, I think there's a lot more to be positive about than the headline suggests.
When was the last
Thank
time
you,
you
free
stopped
advertising.
and thought about how extraordinary each and every one of us is?
Well, I can't say I've done it recently. Anyway, Bitcoin plummets as South Korea announces plan to ban cryptocurrency trading. South Korea will ban cryptocurrency trading. It's been revealed. The shock announcement sent markets into freefall. Okay, can we talk about the use of the use of media language to to hype things up? It's headlines. It's got to grab attention, right? So Bitcoin plummets. I'm going to check the price right now, but I think that's an overreaction. And South Korea announces plans to ban cryptocurrency. And I'll also explain why I think that's overstated. And then this is obviously overstated, and sending it into free fall is just, I don't know. It's sexy for the media. They love it. You know, the number of people who called me when Bitcoin started to drop even a little bit and said, oh, it's free falling, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you talking about? Anyway, I'm going to just read this and then we'll check the price, because I could be completely wrong by now, because it was falling pretty rapidly. But let's have a look. South Korean authorities are preparing to ban cryptocurrency trading, the country's justice minister announced on Thursday. And this is a quotation, there are great concerns regarding virtual currencies, and Justice Ministry is basically preparing a bill to ban cryptocurrency through exchanges. Okay, a couple of things about this quote. Basically preparing a bill. Okay, the bill's actually then got to be made law. That's how it works, all right? And we're basically preparing one. I don't know. It doesn't seem concrete, does it? To ban cryptocurrency trading through exchanges. Okay, it doesn't say that peer-to-peer transactions can't take place. It just says that they can't do it through exchanges. That's fine. I'll have to figure out another way to buy it. Park Sun-ki said in a statement distributed by the ministry's press office, according to Reuters. Okay, continuing on. The statement, which caused turmoil on crypto markets, was later moderated by the presidential office, which said a ban was under review, but no policy changes had been made. My goodness. The Associated Press reported that while the country's justice ministry had taken a stern stance against cryptocurrencies, other agencies opposed an outright ban. So there you go. It's debated. It's not. People read the headline, right? The headline looks terrible, but you get into the article, and I've seen this happen before in real world markets as well. So it's not exclusive to crypto, but it seems to be exacerbated in the emotional realms of cryptocurrency. Mr. Park said he could not disclose details, but would jointly work with a government task force to shut down virtual currency exchanges in South Korea, which is one of the world's biggest markets for the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, that is a concerning statement, but again, it's one person. The news sent crypto markets into freefall, absolute exaggeration, with Bitcoin down 14%. Wow, 14%. Okay. I'm not sure that's freefall. Ethereum down 10% to US blah, 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 and Ripple down more than 17% to US $1.66 by late Thursday. According to industry websites Crypto Compare, more than 10% of Ethereum is traded in South Korean won, second only to US dollars, which account for 32%. Nearly 14% of Ripple and 5% of Bitcoin is traded in won. It came after spokesmen for the Coin One exchange earlier told Reuters that a few officials from the National Tax Service had raided their office this week, with police investigating suspected gambling. Authorities also raided the BitThumb exchange. That's okay. They didn't find anything, I don't think. Last week, South Korean authorities reportedly began inspections at 6 banks that provided accounts to companies involved in cryptocurrency trading, citing concerns about potential money laundering. They've got to justify having jobs. You know what I mean? So they've got to put all these reports together and spend millions and millions of dollars of the taxpayers' money when it's all on chain, and most of these places have KYCs now anyway. So anyway, meanwhile, Chinese authorities are planning to crack down on Bitcoin miners in order to guide them towards an orderly exit from the country. The regulatory noise in South Korea and China that's going to be an ongoing threat to Bitcoin and to crypto more generally for the foreseeable future. ABC Bullion chief economist Jordan Alessio said earlier this week, governments, financial institutions, you name it, are still working out how best to deal with crypto and the businesses involved with it. On Monday, the widely used research website CoinMarketCap removed average price data from BitThumb, CoinOne, and Corbett from its calculations, causing confusions in the market. Prices on South Korean exchanges are typically 30% higher on average. In an interview with CNBC on Wednesday, billionaire investor Warren Buffett warned cryptocurrencies will almost certainly come to a bad ending. Wrong. Flat out wrong, because blockchains are not just about currency. It's about much more than that. Okay, so yes, I don't often speak in certainties, but that's an ignorant statement by an old man past his prime. I'd be more than willing to have the debate with you, Warren Buffett. Okay, coming back. Seeing what everyone wants to chat about today. I thought we'd cover the Korean thing quickly. I want to have a quick look at the markets, actually. I'll bring my other computer up so we can chat at the same time. Mark G. Yeah, flat wrong, exactly. Grinkers, how you going? Chikai, 51.50 time. Still haven't figured out what that means. I'll have to Google it. Excuse me. All right, let's have a look at the market, see what's happening. Is it still bleeding? Coin market cap. Hey guys, I released a video this morning, another formula. If you're interested, KuCoin shares. I got to tell you, I think it's a really good investment. 6.2% return based on the price this morning. That's based on no growth in the exchange at all. I think it's fair to assume there's going to be growth. I mean, Binance and Bittrex are struggling to take new customers. People are looking for other exchanges, and KuCoin is a good one. And I've got the link in the description as always, if you want to start using it. Atanas Popivanov said it's going to be a long night. Yeah, man, it can be, but just go out and do something. I often tell the story about what happened. I can't remember what caused it. It might have been that Dimon thing back in the day, or I don't remember what caused it. But there was one of the 10 crashes I've been through in the last 6 to 8 months. I just went out for the day. I went and watched my niece play tennis. I went for a surf. Just by the end of the weekend, I'd made a stack of money because I'd set buy orders low, and yeah. So I don't know. See it as opportunity. I just read that article to you guys. What do you think? What do you think? I think that, that article suggests to me that there's no certainty about a ban in Korea. It looks like they're trying to. There's one guy who's definitely against it, but there's a lot of people who say they're against an outright ban. Maybe some sort of regulation. I expect regulation coming into the market. I do, but I don't think that headline, I think it's irresponsible, but that's mainstream media reporting for you. It is irresponsible at the best of times. I'm just going to plug my computer in because I forgot to. Both of them. Organised fish as usual. Oh, one goes there, one goes there. All right, cool. Yeah, exactly, Jia. I think that's a pretty good point. Jia said, it's the same story of China. It's very good for the economy. Regulation to create a safe environment for investors. Beyond Time said, we should be okay. Yeah. Some people will be going through their first crypto correction. I don't like to call it a crash because I think that's overstating it. I'm just going to update and make sure I'm not now behind the news instead of giving it to you. But, I don't see it as a major, from all-time highs, we've probably taken back 30%. But given the bull run we went on, it's not, it's not looking that bad to me. I'm just going to check and see if it's still bleeding the last hour. I'll change to view all. Yeah, Pablo. The FUD's always overstated. I read the article, guys. The headline doesn't match the article. So make your own decisions, as always. Chikai said making sure the indexes are playing by the rules in South Korea. Yeah, good on you, SP. SP's just made a bit of a quick trade on the news. So he would have traded the news early, sold out at 15 grand, waited for it to dip, and now he's starting to buy back. Yeah, it's good to have a correction, man. A bit of a take back. No, it was getting overheated anyway, so it's probably due for something like this. It's heavily emotion driven, this market. Lots of uncertainty. This is SXOAL. Lots of uncertainty. I say these market caps are insane given where a lot of the products are. Yeah. I'd say that the market caps are insane both ways. I think some are well undervalued, even for their current use cases, let alone potential. I've done maths on the KuCoin exchange. to show that KuCoin shares is a great buy at the moment. And a lot of people question it because it's higher than Binance. But it's about the value that holding the KuCoin shares brings to you. G'day, Roland. Yeah, it's the future, man. Of course it's the future. It's not going to, like, blockchain's not just going to go away. It won't. It can, I've said this before, it can fail as a currency because governments and institutional money and banks have a hell of a lot of power. And it's going to be a long, hard fight. I'm up for it. But it is in the currency game. We're well aware of that. I work for a a crypto that is potentially more vulnerable to those sort of things because our use cases is a day-to-day transaction coin, a very, very low cost and quick transactable coin. It costs 1,000th of a cent to, it was the original plan. It costs 1,000th of a cent to send and it's instant. So, I think though that being a currency as our primary focus, we are susceptible to, to that fight more. Whereas blockchain in use in terms of actual, where the blockchain's been used to improve industry, that's not going to go away. It won't, 100%. I'm just getting back up. Have a look at it. Brian Teskey said the police looking for evidence to support banning trading crypto. Well, good luck on finding evidence. Brian Teskey said yeah, but did they find anything? Exactly, man. Yeah, very good point. Sorry, I shouldn't have jumped in before I read the rest of it. Less than 45 days ago, we were going crazy because BTC was about to break $10,000. So $13,000. What are we complaining about? Grinkers, you've been we've been mates for a long time now, man. Do you remember my predictions for BTC at the end of 2017 in a bull market? $5,500. 5,500 was as much as I could see it getting to. So if you told me 12 days into January it would be at $13,000 back when I made those $5,500 predictions, I would say you're kidding yourself. So yeah, we're still well ahead of where I expected us to be at this point in time. Grinkers makes a great point. Warren Buffoon spreading more FUD today. Yeah, man. He's had it. There is a point. He's outdated. I mean, he's seen as a successful investor, but he's a market manipulator. That's part of it because I'm not saying he intentionally and illegally manipulates markets. I'm saying his influence alone and his money alone influences markets. So just the volume. So there is some, there is some effect of that as well. The amount of bankroll he has. Yeah, Grinker said it's just returning to strong instead of overheated. Yeah, exactly, Roland. Does it really surprise you, man? Does it really surprise you? Roland said you'd think you'd want to leave a legacy of hope for future generations, but just another middle finger to the masses. Yeah, there's a widening gap, guys. It concerns me. It concerns me not because I'm on the wrong side of it either. It's the truth. It's pretty hard not to be truthful about that. But the widening gap is very much caused by our current financial system. The fractional reserve banking, which just enslaves humanity by creating money out of nothing and putting that debt to us. So yeah, it's not great. I think there's a better way forward, and I think that whether crypto is the end game or not, it's certainly a step forward from the current financial system and gives us a chance to level the playing field. I've spoken about that many times. That's what I'm doing here. We've got to do it. I mean, so many of society's problems are caused by inequality, if you've done the research. Dubai government set a goal to be 100% blockchain by 2020. Saying blockchain will go away is like saying the internet will go away. It's so true. It's a daft statement. I mean, technically, yes, the internet could go away if whatever set of circumstances it would take. Obviously, catastrophe on a global scale, and at that point, money's pretty irrelevant anyway. So yeah, yeah, I agree, Mark G. Floyd said the finance minister said it's all good in South Korea. See, there you go. How many of these people in power who initiated the raids in Korea sold the market short? It's a good question, Mark G. There's always that possibility. Buffoon is only scared for his dollars. He backs US dollars a lot. He's keeping his interest, but we need get over the old fag. I'm not going to censor you. I think that's insulting to people who are homosexual to be compared to Warren Buffett. I've got a lot of gay mates who wouldn't appreciate that. Guarantee you Buffett is a crypto whale who's just messing around. I don't know. Maybe he's just had it. It's pretty old. Like, that's the thing. This is hard enough for me to grasp at 35. I can only imagine what he's, how much he's struggling with it. Yeah, Mark G said, look how fast Jamie Dimon turned around. Yeah, man. That's his was intentional though. No doubt about that. He did the same thing. Look at his career. Look at his career where he brought up the banking world to get to his position of power. That's what he did. Go and read about it. So he did the same thing with blockchain, but blockchain's not going to accept it, I don't think. That's the difference. So, he came out and said that Bitcoin's a fraud and the price crashed down. And then while that was happening, not only was there a JP Morgan buy order in Europe for like, I think $5 million worth of Bitcoin, which is not huge, but still it's, at $2,000 or whatever it crashed to, 5 million into that, he's done all right, would be fair to say. But not only that, it was heavily rumored that he was around making offers to a lot of the top blockchain people while that was happening, because he's building his own blockchain. And then he came out in an interview like a week later and said, I got no problem with blockchain, God bless the blockchain, but it's got to be a government version of crypto. It's got to be, that's what it's got to be. Like, because that suits you, because the government bails you out and gives you billions of dollars when you can't even run a fucking, excuse me, I've never sworn like that on the show, but can't run a bank when you've got fractional reserve banking in your favor as well. I wonder if I can censor that. Shit, live show. I don't mind the S-bomb, but I've never dropped an F-bomb. There you go. Brian Teskey, it's a revolution they never planned against yet. I can't understand how Australia has debt that equals 4.5 the GDP. Mannix, man, it's because every country in the world is virtually indebted, man. The richest countries in the world are the ones that are the most in debt. That's, well, not always, but like there are examples of that in the US. I mean, what's the US's debt? It's got to be way more than 4.5 times GDP. But yeah, the whole world's in debt, man. That's why when people talk about crypto being a pyramid scheme, I'm like, you know what? Even if it is, it's at the very, very, very beginning, and the fiat one, which cannot be described in any other way, is about to come to an end. It's been running for 200 years, and it's done. He's not actually, is he? Mark G said, although Buffett is 106 years old, when he gets into crypto, he'll probably try to phone Kraken for their fax number. Yeah. Oh man, I can't really laugh at that. Yeah. I think I wrote a letter to Binance about one of the issues I was having early on. Brian Teskey said they can't shut down the internet. Roland Carr, the fractional reserve banking system is a farce. They don't even want to stick to their own self-imposed limits of asset dilution. It's a joke. Yes, it is, mate. And it's a joke how many economists and financial, People who are paid multi-million-dollar salaries don't even understand. Like, the maths is simple. The maths is simple enough that laid out in front of someone with honestly, an 8th grade understanding of mathematics, they're going to get it. It's just that no one questions it. That's, it all just works, right? Harry Taylor said, very well said, fish money from central banks are worth like toilet paper. That's true, man. Buffett was born in 1930. That's practically the 1800s. Oh, back. Does that mean Ripple will win? Brian Teskey, Ripple's got a future. I have no doubt about that. The banks they've got a lot of tricks up their sleeves yet. They're not just going to roll over and die. So, yeah, I think Fish did it again, mate. Banks make you nervous. That's, yeah. Yeah, no, I think Ripple's still got a future, if I'm being honest. Perhaps that big dump was all the crypto enthusiasts. They actually pumped the whales and got all the banks to FOMO it, and then they went, yes, now let's get into some actual proper crypto. No, I'm sorry to the people at Ripple. It's good technology. I just prefer not to support the banks. Sam Rummets. Honestly, I'm a bit concerned that a lot of these blockchain companies are shaping up no different than your standard fair corporation, more centralized that the decentralized promise. Sam Roberts, I can't disagree. I've seen certain cases of that, but I think actually in certain cases some centralization, at least some structure, is really good. It creates efficiency when you've got structure. When it's an every man for himself thing, it can create a whirlwind of ideas, but you've got to bring some structure in to actually then get that work done. That's my personal opinion, of course. But I still think that irregardless of being centralized or decentralized, it's a less manipulatable system, right? It can't be coins can't be created out of thin air. We know that. There's set algorithms that keep the coin supply in check. So if all we're doing with it is forcing the banks to be more visible in how money works, that's a win. I'll take it. If that's all we're doing before I die, fine. It's a step forward. North Korea and Iran are not in debt. There you go. Probably why they're being attacked. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. That's not funny. US debt is really bad. Please tell me we will recover. Easy E? Easy E! Oh, man, I was just listening to some Easy E this morning. Is that Nate, are you a fan? NWA fan? Easy E? I was listening to Real Mother Effing G's. Good song. Anyway, yes, it will recover. Of course it will. As every other time before. Which, I always say that during these big shakeouts, the crap coins can get shaken out. Especially the ones that people are sort of holding for a flip or whatever. They're less likely to buy back into it. And they're more likely to flip, quick, get out. So I think the good coins tend to recover actually historically to stronger points than pre-dip. But some of the less promising projects do get shaken out during these times, which is good. That's what we need. Cream rising to the top, promoting our economy as the best we can to the world. And that doesn't happen through getting garbage to the top because someone wants to get rich quick. Rome said debt's growing, and I think you're speaking about Rome's case, speaking about US. He said our debt is growing at a faster rate than GDP. Pine Needle, hey, quick question. So I put $1,200 into Ethereum as my first investment on 8th of the 1st. Sorry, man, we did so January 8th. We do the dates differently in Australia. I believe this was a good move, and I plan on investing into smaller ICOs. Do you also think this was a good move? Yeah, man. Well, Pine Needle, we've kind of, I wouldn't say we specialize in it, man, but we've killed the ICO scene in 2017. So the crypto wave investment crew, the actual ones we got into as a group was Substratum, which has gone at its peak 50x from ICO. We got into Icon at 10 cents. At its peak, it was trading at close to $12, I think, so 120x at its peak. I still think we'll go past there. What else did we get into? We got into Qlink, which at its peak was trading at $1.30. It's only just hit markets in the last week. And we bought that at 10 cents, so that's 13x. And what was the other one, guys, that we did? There's one other one. Oh, Gladius. Gladius hasn't hit markets yet, but we're expecting good things because it was a sellout. So yeah, if you do your research, the ICO space can be lucrative, but research is key. There's a lot of projects that, for me, are less than promising, and seem to be overpriced as well. So especially for what they're asking. So just be careful with the ICO space. Pine Needle can be really lucrative, but it can also be, it ties your money up for a couple of months while it's hitting markets and then doesn't do so well. It can be not so positive. But if you want to get some information on ICOs, Pine Needle, we're quite often talking about the upcoming ICOs in our Discord group. You're welcome to join. Open Discord group, no fees or anything like that. The description is in the link. The link is in the description. I'm having a good one today. This is what happens when you don't sleep enough, people. I advise to get more sleep than what I've been getting recently. I've still got another proposal to put together today too. So I think Ethereum's just as a hold itself, and that's it. Just the closing on this whole point, Pine Needle. Sorry for shaking the camera. When you're choosing an investment and you're choosing to invest in Ethereum or Neo or no doubt Lisk and other, Icon will be coming up soon with ICOs. You've got to decide whether the investment is actually going to outperform your current investment in Ethereum itself. And if you're questionable about that, maybe you're better off just holding the Ethereum, which I think is a really, really solid project. Scaling and security solutions going in right now, man. So they're constantly working on it, and they're one of the quicker teams to move in the economy. I think that the buy at 1200. Okay, you've taken some hits. That's, only 2 or 3% at this stage. But I've always said that I believe that Ethereum will one day come to a 5-to-1 ratio with Bitcoin, which even if Bitcoin dropped to 10,000 and stayed steady there, you'd be looking at a $2,000 Ethereum price. And I think that's even conservative, possibly, provided all goes well. Stephen Milner, new money is created from loans. Pay the debt, and there would be no money left in circulation. Correct. There's not enough money to pay off the world's debt. That's why I say it's like, it is a pyramid scheme. House of cards, all about to fall. They're just trying to, it's the death rattle. Just trying to get that last little bit out of it. All right, guys. Brian Teskey said, "Go Leafs, go." Are they playing? I didn't even know. Read today that the global, I'm going to go quickly through the comments so we can get back to live. Read today that global derivatives markets estimate at $542 trillion, 8 times global GDP. And the off-the-book trading markets, the number much larger. Any portion of the market crashes, the world crashes. Yeah, it's probably going to happen. So sit back, grab some crypto and wait for it. Yeah, I think there's a need for centralization in a way as well, Mehdi. Sure. Do you know the recent XRP moon was a buy on rumor, sell on news? How many people knew about the MoneyGram XRP partnership and loaded up? Mark G could be. It could also be the rumors were getting out of hand about Coinbase listing XRP, which hasn't happened yet, but it's still a strong rumor. There was a suggestion that as the government won't be able to take taxes by force, they will have to be more transparent about what they spend in order to convince people to contribute. Good luck. You know what I would love to see, guys? This is serious. I want to see government spending on blockchain. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see ministers taking $2,000 helicopter rides with what would take them 20 minutes in their car. I'm sick of it. It's reckless spending. And so are most of the contracts that go out. A lot of the contracts that go out are, you know, for public work are well overpriced. It's not competitive at all. Anyway. So yeah, I would actually love to see governments held accountable by having government spending on blockchain. There's your budget. We can see where everything goes now. We don't have to rely on your reports and fill in the gaps. That's fair. That's fair. Like, it's our money. That's the thing. It's our money, right? We're just giving it to them. Like, we're giving it to them by trust. That's what it is. We've earned that money. So we give it to them and trust them to do the best for our needs and for our well-being, and they don't. So that's not fair. They're breaking the contract with us. We have a contract with them. We will give you the money. We will vote for the best people, and those people do the best things in our interest, and they don't. So no, I think that government spending should be on blockchain. Yeah, I'm a bit fired up. I haven't had enough sleep, Dave Purebred. Yeah, Roland Carr, exactly. I wonder why no politicians in the UK have suggested this yet, because they don't want to be held accountable. Pine Needle said, also, if you haven't seen it, Brazil just announced that the 2018 elections will be handled on a blockchain system. Excellent. Not that their economy is in a fantastic way at the moment. One of the countries that can definitely, like South America, can definitely benefit from crypto. Too real for most fish. Yeah, that's okay, man. I'm going to say it how I see it. Sometimes that's going to be after very little sleep and working too hard, but I don't regret anything I just said. I believe that government should be held accountable for their spending. I think if the general population in Australia knew we spent $250,000 per year per person to imprison asylum seekers and treat them like garbage, the population wouldn't stand for it. Why would we do that? Why are we spending $250,000 a year on that? It's to be barbaric. Anyway, sorry. This is going to cause a lot of back and forth, I'm sure, because I've gotten on such really controversial topics. Yeah, no doubt it's a gaming platform, but it's been branching out quite a bit. Doing well on RSA, not for Fish to go exclusively, but he can stream both. I don't know what you're talking about. I believe elections on blockchain are the future. They will undoubtedly be huge fudding and fumbles. First world countries will not be. Yeah, I think it is the future. Definitely. It's cheaper. Much cheaper to do. You know, it's cheaper and more secure. We know this to run the elections on blockchain. There wouldn't be these questions of, you know, tampering from outside countries or internally. Fish, there will be a World Economic Meeting at Davos in about 2 weeks. Any worries about this meeting? Cryptos may be a topic of discussion. No, I don't really have any concerns. That's the thing. Anything can be adopted as a form of currency. Governments don't get a say in that. The governments aren't supposed to have so much control over finance. That slowly happens somehow. Separation of finance and state's a good thing, guys. Yeah, Viva Fish, good day. Yeah, man, I'm tired. I got to stop ranting. No one wants to get their proverbial skirts lifted, yeah. I can see Scandinavian countries adopting this. Yeah, I think so. I think the whole world's got to adopt it. Whether it be as a currency, they're definitely going to adopt blockchain technology. And that's what I've always said during overall market corrections that doesn't make sense to me. Okay, we've talked a lot recently about encryption, about DNA, the blockchain, the gene chain, storing medical data on the blockchain to massively increase the capabilities of research and security of genomic data and security of patient information and accuracy of patient information. Okay, so say you don't want us having our own currency. Say you're going to be tyrannical governments that put us under the squeeze, and we're going to have to not fight back. And it comes to a point where it's military rule, because until it gets to that point, I'm going to keep using crypto. But say all that happens, why are you going to stop us doing that? Why are you going to stop us advancing medical science in that way? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. So to me, yeah, currencies, I work for PIVX, guys. It's my favorite currency because of the things I've spoken about, wealth distribution, trying to achieve equality. But we are under threat when governments and banks start doing what they're doing. That's the truth. Bitcoin, Litecoin, PIVX, currencies, guys. But DNA, no. Substratum, potentially because they put the squeeze on the decentralized internet thing. But, you know, like Gladius, there's no reason. If they can distribute DDoS attacks, that's good for everyone, including governments. You know, just think of the use cases that we're now finding out that blockchain can help us, you know, the things that blockchain can help us achieve. So I don't think it's all going away because they choose that we can't transact in this way as a form of, you know, as a form of day-to-day transactions. I still think that the blockchain's proven to be too valuable for other use cases to just go away. Big rant. Government does not care about advancing medical science. It's sad. I could say a few things about that in Australia, man. We reduced our fund, like our scientific funding, heavily a few years back. I don't understand that at all. We call ourselves an innovative country. We rave about how Australians are so creative, and we created, you know, Wi-Fi, and we created the black box, and we created all these brilliant things that the world uses, and they cut scientific funding. Wilkie. Had a little drink, which I don't often do, with Wilkie last night, and Jace, a couple of boys. We talked a bit of crypto, bit of fun. Yeah, it's sad, yeah, but it's true. But it doesn't mean, like, yeah, it doesn't always have to be that way. There's a certain, like, if we accept it to be that way, it will be that way. But we don't have to. There's enough good people who don't want it to be that way anymore. And decentralization allows those good people to get together and have the same access to, you know, the research pools and things that only the rich have in the real world. So Xiao said, you know, cancers, diseases, and plagues are profitable. Yeah, that's true. But it doesn't matter. I don't think it does now that we've got this new technology. Elites are into eugenics and population control. They don't care if you die and profit off you like a big pharmaceutical company. Yeah, Harry, look, that's I don't want to imply anything by Dr. Copesell's statement when I interviewed him. But I have a feeling that was part of the reason he said there's no way we'd sell out to a pharmaceutical. They can invest, but we'd be careful to maintain the vision of the project. So I think he's a doctor. He's aware of what goes on in the industry. There you go. The older you live, the more they pay in pension. We will defeat these scums, God willing. Warren said, I can't even believe that Warren Buffett's still alive. He'd have to be pushing 100. Wookie's always got an interesting way of looking at it. Classic liberal government. Yeah, anyway, we've gone on to absolute political rants. We've talked about very, very little crypto today and what has been an interesting time. But I guess, you know, philosophical is as good as anything today. Because what determines value? And so why is the market dropping? Is PIVX today, or any of the other currencies that have taken a hit, any less useful in transacting data peer-to-peer? No. And if we choose for that data because it's immutable, because it's on the blockchain, because it's finite, it ticks every box as working as a currency. So if we choose that to be the currency, nothing can stop us. That's the truth. I can exchange Yeah, anyone who wants to do services at my house, I can use my crypto. And then anyone who I'm going to do work for, I'm happy to accept crypto. And then it doesn't matter anymore. The fiat system collapses. I'm not hoping that happens because world turmoil comes with that, but I think it's inevitable. Well, you guys know me, I'm into this. I'm into showing the maths, and the maths says it's inevitable. So it's going to happen. Is cryptocurrency the one beacon of hope that we do have in saving, some sort of financial system going into a new world? Because the current financial system is going to collapse. It might not happen in my lifetime. It might not happen in the next 100 years and 500 years. The economics on that is unclear, because how much can we continue to grow and continue to populate and continue to destroy the world in search of profits? That's what the fiat system does rely on. Continued growth. So I don't know how long that can last, but it's not forever. That's one thing I'm certain of. It's a finite planet. Shaquille said, what do you think of Dragon Chain and Ethos? Man, I prefer Dragon Chain myself. Ethos, I just always had question marks over the ICO strategy, and I'm also EOS. That was EOS, wasn't it? They haven't actually released anything yet either. But Dragon Chain announced a partnership recently with Life ID, Shaquille, and I think that's a really, really positive move. Thank you for getting me back onto crypto. I think that's a really positive move because they're basically enabling a digital identity, so a digital like a KYC already done. So anything that launches on top of Dragon Chain, you would have your KYC done through Life ID. So you just go, yep, I'm done. I've done my KYC for this one, this one, this one, this one, which is really cool. The other thing that Dragon Chain has going for it is backed by Disney, which is a company that is quite large and has good connections. So I like their mantra as well. It seems like they're trying to be helpful about actually assisting people to develop on their chain. So it's interesting. I like it, man. We called it, I think, about 80 cents. So how high can it go? It depends on what's built on top of it. That's the reality. If nothing interesting's built on top of it. See, that's the thing. Like a lot of these DApp platforms, they can have a really impressive technology, but unless the really impressive apps get built on top of their network, then they'll fall into obscurity because you need successful applications running on the network to give it value. That's my opinion. Please, if anyone sees an alternative opinion to that, you're welcome to pop it in as always. Brian Teskey, we need to get everyone involved. So if they F with our money, we get our pitchforks and torches and kick them the F out. Yeah, I mean, there's not much they can do to F with it, really. Like, that's what I've said. They can ban exchanges and they can do all that sort of stuff now, but I don't think they can ban you downloading a wallet, can they? Surely not. And since the currency is already out there, it would be detrimental to the evolution of blockchain, which would be really sad because I think it has a lot of use cases outside of just being a currency. Disney killed Star Wars, said Wilkie. That's excellent, Wilkie. Thank you. Surab, back for the convo. Surab, what was that was on? What would happen if Korea bans crypto? It's difficult to ban crypto per se. They can ban the exchanges. Like, they can shut down exchanges. But it's difficult to ban crypto as a whole. People can still use it to transact with each other. That's an option for the people, not for the government. Would you say it's better to buy Stellar than Ripple since it's decentralized? Yeah, Shaquille, I hold Stellar and I don't have Ripple. So yes, is my answer. I actually got some good gains on that because I stocked up as it was like. You guys know what I do. As it gets lower, I hit more. It's pretty good. Bo Beck said, how many Binance referrals do you have, Fish? Honestly, just curious. I got 38 referrals, Bo Beck. And thank you to all the people who have referred, because that has been very, very nice for me. There is a referral link in here as well. What do I think of Lisk? Elysium Core? Oh, hi, laugh out loud. I like Lisk, man. It's I think that blockchains are going to be favored in certain regions, like the app platforms, and I think that Lisk could be favored in Europe, potentially. Primarily based in Germany. And they've got the advantage of having more programming language, is my understanding. But Elysium Core, are you really going to do this to me? Mate, you know that's not what I do. It's not what I do at PIVX. So anyway, it's got more programming language than Ethereum. So Ethereum's got Solidity, as I'm sure you're aware. Lisk allows programming, I believe, in Java and C++ and a few other languages as well. So I'd say, yeah, it's an interesting proposition. Again, it's going to be dependent on what gets built on top of it. But I think the team's made good moves since they've come into the economy. Still waiting for that rebranding. What do I think of PIVX? Come on. Put it as my #1 for 2018. I think, man, it's for I'm a philosophical investor, Elysium Core. I don't touch gambling projects because I used to have a gambling problem. And I don't want to, I still say that blockchain gambling is better than normal gambling, but I just don't want to touch gambling projects. So I'm a philosophical investor. I don't know if you know this on the Elysium Core, but I originally found PIVX through the numbers like I usually do. I was showing the returns back when it was $1.50 of just, conservative returns. Put in $500, stake that PIVX and you'll earn this many PIVX. And I used the rewards calculator. And I said, now this is where you've got to understand compound interest. And I said, so what happens when you get that staking reward? It actually increases your chances of getting the next staking reward, and so on and so forth. So I showed like a 3-year hold of PIVX if you put $500 in now and how many coins you get extra. And I think I showed just assuming like $1.50 would be stable. We'd hold the $1.50 price. And it was, it was reasonable returns because you compound the coins. I can't remember what the exact figure was, but now that old PIVX video looks a little bit funny. Me doing the maths on it at $1.50 and saying, oh, well, if you held it for 3 years, you'd make, maybe $300. If you put $500 of PIVX and started staking it back when it was $1.50 a PIV, well, I did it. So I did more than that. So yeah, it's been good. But that's how I originally found PIVX, man. But what kept me there was just the attitude of all the guys. They all had the same sort of attitude as me. I wasn't, like, I've been a bit lost. I've been retired for 3 years. Company had sold, had some success, and kind of been, well, I'd been surfing, but wondering what I was going to do with the rest of my, working life. And yeah, when I started speaking to specifically, Chad and Brian, they really had similar outlooks to me on what we could potentially do with crypto. So that's what's made me, lifelong to PIVX, regardless of what other avenues I pursue in my career. I'm always going to be supportive of PIVX because I like, unless the ideals change, because that can happen with a community consensus. But as long as we all keep striving for, generally a better world, fairer wealth distribution, that sort of thing, I'm a happy man. Happy to throw on the PIVX cap and ride for PIVX in my events while my legs will still carry me. How's Australian government working with crypto? Is it legal here? What do you think of future of crypto in Australia? Surab, it is legal in Australia. It is not the government who's causing the problems at the moment. It's the banks, and only the big four. So we've got big 4 banks in Australia that control a very big majority of the market, and they have colluded and decided that the best course of action is to stop any transfers from known cryptocurrency accounts coming in, which has caused a lot of problems. The good thing is the smaller banks and financial institutions and credit unions haven't moved in the same direction yet, which is good to see. The government the last Reserve Bank meeting minutes that I read was some time ago. I haven't kept up with it, but about 6 months ago, I read the Reserve Bank's minutes of the meeting, and they were actually making moves to prepare Australia for readiness for crypto, if you like. So I think the government in Australia likes to regulate a lot of things, but taking away freedoms in Australia is a sore point, and Australians will very much fight back if that freedom is taken away, I think. So I don't think it would be a good move for a government to ban crypto, because Australia's pretty heavy, guys, in crypto. I don't know if you know this, but per capita, we've got a reasonable investment in crypto. So I think the people would kick up a stink, even those people who aren't a fan of a crypto, people who sit there and go, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, it's all going to go, kaput one day. They will still say, hang on, yeah, that might be true, but government, you don't have the right to tell these people what they can and can't do with their money. If they want to gamble on crypto, they can gamble on crypto, if that's what you want to call it. So I think even the people who don't support the crypto economy would be against the government regulating something for the sake of regulating it. Or, sorry, not regulating it, but banning it for the sake of banning it. Brian Teskey said that's why you're the best. You can be trusted and don't sell out for money. Yeah, man. Well, I never rode for a sponsor until PIVX. I rode in the World Championships in 2015. I just didn't accept any. Oh, I did. I rode for a charity. in 2015 World Championships, I rode for a friend who had lost her husband. So we raised like, I don't know, 25, 30 grand. I'm not saying that was all through my sponsorship. I mean, a few people watch the World Championships, but bodyboarding's not the most popular sport. So but it was good to be part of that. And that's the only sponsor I've ever taken, actually, before PIVX. So it shows you how much I was impressed with what the game plan was when I started over there. With PIVX or any stake coin, do you earn a greater percentage reward if you have a master node versus a partial or small holding? A great question, Mark G. Depends on the coin. So some coins, for example, Dash has master nodes. You can't stake a single Dash, so you'll have to have 1,000 of them. My pockets aren't that deep. not for all into one crypto. No way. So yeah, I can't afford $1 million or whatever it's sitting at the moment to start staking Dash and actually making use of the rewards. So that's pretty heavily favored towards the already rich. With PIVX, obvious plug, but it is true. You can stake one coin. You will get more rewards the more coins you hold. But the thing I like about PIVX is there is a masternode point, which is 10,000 PIVX, which is starting to get expensive now. 10,000 PIVX. Most people don't have 120, 130 grand thrown, right? But the good thing is literally there might be 0.5% difference in what the masternode holders earn and what the stakers earn. So it's pretty fair. We do have to incentivize masternodes because that's part of how our distributed ledger works is partly through the masternodes. So we do have to incentivize a good number of masternodes. Just for those of you who are curious, the system can run with 6 masternodes. I think last time I checked, we're in the multiple thousands. So that's not a concern at this stage. But our system also requires the stakers as well, which is why they're rewarded for staking their PIV. And the seesaw algorithm actually sometimes swings towards the low side, and the little guys get the win. The big guys are sitting there going, "Arr!" But it's all small percentages. The difference between staking it and masternodes is not huge. So that's what I like about it. It's more equal. So if you just want to do a savings account, which is how I use my PIV, and anytime you take some profits or get a little bit of extra cash come your way, or you can afford to put money into your savings account. Now think of it as a term deposit, because you don't want to have to be putting it in and taking it out next week, because you don't know the direct route of the markets, because FUD can come out of Korea, for example. So what I'm talking about, think about it as a term deposit, right? Something you can hold for 3, 6 months, and just anything like that. That's what I'm doing. I'm popping it into PIVX and just slowly accumulating. I do have a goal to get to a masternode. That's my goal. I'm a little way off at the moment. Everything just got more expensive. But, you know, the good thing is that with the PIV that I'm already holding, I can continue to work my way to the goal of the masternode without even buying another PIV if I want to, because the staking rewards will help me to achieve that goal long term. Floyd said, bang the like button, peeps. Hey, Floyd, you got a new avatar. That looks cool. Yeah, of course they are, Seb. I mean, it's comfortable for them. Seb said the governments and banks are scared they might not have control over money anymore. Mate, it would be difficult to give up that printing press, basically. Mr. Bean, cool. Coinbase sucks, says the Elysium Core. Oh, that's not good to hear. What's made you formulate that opinion, Elysium Core? Curious. That's what I used to get my fiat in, but I haven't had to put fiat in for a while. I was in long enough ago that I've got plenty of money riding in there. Yeah, that's so true, Beyond Time. Good. Actually, that's a good statement to close on for the day. I'm going to let Beyond Time have our closing word for the day. And Beyond Time said, it is important that one does what is right. So I'm going to start again. Closing statement for the day, Beyond Time. It is important that one does what's right in life and not necessarily what's convenient. I think that's brilliant. Brilliantly said. Damn it, Elysium Core, that was supposed to be my sign-off thing. They never sent my LTC after 2 weeks, never using them again. Fair enough, Elysium Core, I understand that, man. But, you know, once bitten, twice shy, for sure. Everyone's like that. Everyone said, smash up the like people, 45 watching, only 10 people like it. No one likes me, we know this. Beyond Time, closing statement for the day. Third time's the charm. It's important that one does what's right in life and not necessarily what's convenient. Fish out. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, hang on, I haven't signed off yet. All right, see ya.